We are here for season 7 premiere with Trey Tuck. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. Just chilling. Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course, man.
Appreciate it.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I know. The whole process, everything, um, just seeing the progress. I had spoke to you, what was it, Thursday? And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
telling you, yeah, but really like seeing how it grew from then to now you're on season 7, that's dope. That's dope.
I appreciate that, man. It's been a long journey, but we're still going, man. So, can you talk about growing up in Bristol?
Um, growing up in Bristol, it was a mix of everything. I think when people think about like places in Connecticut, um, you think about your Hartfords, your New Havens, your Bridgeport, whatever the case, New Britain. I think Bristol is like one of those places that has the elements of all those places put in one, because you kind of see it, but you also see like rich, very, very like you see like the
The
lowest,
highs and the lows, yeah.
exactly, like people have mansions and all this other type of stuff, and it's a big misconception of like what Bristol really is. So I feel like I represent that because I feel like I can speak to. I'm well rounded as a person because of where I grew up.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people are. So a lot of people are one way or this way because of their
Their
surroundings. But
environments,
yeah,
yeah.
but Bristol has like everything in it, except for like good. There's no place to go like downtown or nothing like that. But as far
Yeah.
as people and interactions,
The culture.
yeah, the
Yeah.
culture of it has all those elements. So yeah.
That's dope, bro. So, what was life like before music?
I played sports pretty much my whole life. That was my thing. I played basketball, football. I played baseball when I was a kid. I always did music. I didn't rap or anything like that, but I was always into music. I always, was into knowing the roots of like hip hop music, like knowing the roots of R&B and soul music, and knowing like what I really like. But I never actually dabbled in rap. So I
Yeah.
would just play baseball, football, basketball. And I originally thought I was going to go to college to play football, but it didn't pan out. And I just ended up having to go off to college. So I ended up going off to college, and for the first time being in school, I didn't play a sport.
Yeah.
So it was like what's
A
next?
culture shock.
Yeah, like what's next?
Yeah.
I gotta find something that can occupy my time, because I'm not one of those people who like, I play video games, but I can't play video games 12 hours straight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I like to party and drink, but like I'm not an alcoholic or like somebody who loves to do that. So like I have to find something to occupy my time, and I just started writing. Like
Yeah.
it just happened, and then ended up freestyling. Like I feel like how most people start.
With your boys,
Yeah,
just
with your
chilling there.
boy, yeah, and then everybody, there's people who, they take what their friends say and they take it, and there's people who listen to it and they're like, but it's not who I am. So I did it, and everyone was like, yo, this shit is so dope, and I was just like, really? I don't believe you. So I did it again, and then people, the same expression with different people. So
Yeah.
I kind of was like, okay, let me dabble into music, but I didn't really take it serious for like the first like. This was like my freshman year in college. I went to Mount Ida. Shout out to Mount Ida. It's not a school anymore. It was taken by UMass Amherst.
Oh,
But
interesting.
yeah, they consumed it. But I did that for 2 years, and then I transferred to CCSU. When I transferred to CCSU, that's when I was like, I gotta rap. Like I gotta
Yeah.
really rap. Like I would leave parties like sober or drunk, and I would go to the basement of Beecher, because I used to live in Beecher, and
Yeah.
I would go to the basement, and I would be in those rooms. They have like the rooms where they do the meetings, and I would just be in there like 3 o'clock in the morning, just writing to beats, like
Oh,
writing.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would leave. Eventually, it got to a point where I'd be at a party with my friends. I'd be like, man, it's bullshit. I'm out. And I would go to that basement, and I would just start writing. And then that was when I realized, like, damn, I really think I love this shit, and I want
Yeah.
to take it serious.
This
So,
is my passion.
yeah, this is my passion outside of what I thought it was. So yeah, it's pretty dope.
That was a big moment going down to Beecher. You're always gonna remember that
For
now.
sure. I'll never forget it, because I was the only person down there, and I'm not a person of sometimes I used to, like, around that time I used to be scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Like, so like I don't really like going into creepy basements, and like there's nobody there but me, and
Yeah.
but it was kind of like, as soon as I started writing, I didn't care about none of that. I wasn't thinking about people walking by doing the long, didn't care. I was
You're
at
in
peace.
your zone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was at peace, and that's when I realized like this is my shit. So yeah, it was pretty dope. Beecher forever,
Yeah.
yo. Beecher home is that shit.
Who are your top 3 inspirations of all time?
Um,
If you had to limit it to three.
in music,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would say Cole is one of them. I would say like Slick Rick is one of them.
Okay.
And I'd also say, I mean, probably like Jay-Z or something like that. Jay-Z
On that
slash
boss
Nas.
level.
Yeah, like that type of idea. I said Slick Rick because I listened to how he told stories in music and how like I'm not animated like he is, but just listening to how he can tell a story for you like to listen, like you just
It
sit
just
there.
glides
Yeah, it
by.
just glides by, and you feel like you're a part of it. Like you feel like you're seeing everything he's saying to you, and that was one of the things that I really took in. Like I was like, okay, like if you're gonna paint a picture for somebody, you have to make sure they can feel like they're in your shoes when you're doing it. And J. Cole, just because I watch his progression of who he is now,
Yeah.
and as somebody who was like, I got through college with him. So now, as soon as I got through college with him and I saw him elevate, it kind of made me feel like, damn, if he's making this type of music, I can do the same thing because I feel like I can impact people the same way. And Jay-Z more so just because of how long he's been in the game and how like business savvy he is. Like he's like a person who we don't hear about nothing that he does, but we always see like, yeah, Jay-Z just did this and Jay-Z just did that. And there's something about that I think our culture doesn't do as much now. Is like everything has to be broadcasted that you're doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like just make the move and then let people tell your story. Like I don't have to tell you that I'm doing something. You're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh, yo, did you see? That's something that I get like. I love that. Like people are like, yo, even when it came to my own music, like, yo, like you did that, and I'm like, yeah, but I didn't have to tell you I was doing that.
Yeah,
You just
saw.
You saw it and you respected it for it. So that was something that I wanted to grab, and I kind of pulled that from Jay-Z a little bit. So
I can definitely see that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope, bro. Talk about the Workaholics Origins. That's your group, right?
Yeah, so basically to me it's a lifestyle. How I explain it to people, because I had sold merchandise and I wrote a note in it. So everybody who has the merchandise, the old merchandise, has a note. Basically the note was saying like Workaholics is for everybody. It's not for music artists, it's just for everybody, because we all wake up every single day. We wake up to do our job. Whatever your job is, what you're doing, you go to school, whatever it is, and you have to work. There's no outside of that. There's nobody. Every time you wake up, they're cheering you on, like, yeah, like great job, great job. So in the logo, there's a odometer and it's on the E. And it's on the E because it's like there's no one gassing you up every day to do what you do.
Oh, I
You
like
do it
that.
because you love to do it. So you don't need gas from anybody else because you're doing what inspires you, what moves you. So that was kind of like my whole Workaholics movement, and that's why I spelled it with an E. Also because there's a show called Workaholics, so I couldn't do that. But I wanted to make sure like people felt like they can move with this. Like I wake up, I work hard. If you work hard, then you can relate to it. I've literally had so many stories where I would see people with wristbands that I didn't know. Some of them got them from the CCSU concerts that I did, and some of them just found them.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time, I always tell it to people, there was this lady in the bar, she was the bartender, and it was in New Britain, and I saw her wrist, and I was like, yeah, hold on, I'm tripping. I don't even know this woman. I see like a white wristband on her arm, and I'm like, excuse me, like, where did you get that from? And she was like, well, I saw it by my car, I read it, and I could relate to it, so I picked it up and I wore it. And I said, yo, that's dope, because you don't know that I made that. Like I was saying, like you get your benefits, you don't have to broadcast it. So then after that, I was like, well, I just want to tell you, like, I made those wristbands. And she was like, oh my God, da, 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 da. It was like a crazy moment. So then after that, I came back and I brought her like hoodies and stuff. I was like, yo, thank you for supporting, because you telling me that without even really asking you is the purpose of the whole movement. So yeah, it's music, but it's really like
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, like for people who love to work. So that's that shit. Yeah,
I like it, bro.
yeah.
So talk about before year's end, your EP back in, like 2 projects ago.
Yeah, before year's end, it was a project that I threw together because I was going through a lot. I felt like relationship wise, I was going through a lot. That was like my transition out of college too, so I kind of didn't really know.
Finding yourself.
Yeah, I was still trying to find myself. I was still trying to like, is this something that's really gonna? Because it was either that, make music, or go back to school. So I had to kind of choose. So I kind of threw that project together. One of the craziest things is the song. One of my favorite songs, excuse me, on that project is called The World Is Mind. Like the world is all mental, right? So just a story about that, I didn't even know, but this is how crazy the mind is. I ended up going on tour with KRS-One, and his album was called The World Is Mind, and his tour was called The World Is Mind. And I did that 2 years after I made that song. So I was like, yo, you don't really know what you're saying, and you're speaking into existence. And the whole song is kind of me just talking about how everything is mental. It's not the world isn't mine. It's not mine. It's mine. Like whatever you want to do, you can formulate it with your thoughts. And that was something that I did. So when I saw like the growth from that thought, I was like, oh shit, this song is dope. And then I kept going back to it, and I started to be like, wow, I was kind of speaking to where I am now. So that was one of my favorite records off of that one, flat out, yeah.
That's manifestation, to say the least.
For sure, because you have to. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. When you say something, negative, positive, neutral, that's where you're speaking into. So like if I tell you like, nah, I'm not doing that tomorrow, there's gonna be a whole bunch of things that happen for me to be like, yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to do this.
But if you say you want to,
right, then it's gonna happen. You're gonna manifest itself. So that's kind of like the ideology I started to have. But just seeing that song and how it progressed, I was like, wow, this is dope.
You planted a seed and now you grew a flower.
Didn't even know.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from that project?
Promotion. I think no one cares about your music unless you promote it. I think a lot of artists, like I seen like Joyner Lucas or somebody post like, nobody cares about your music, just throw it out there and something will catch. And I always used to think like, yeah, you know, maybe that is something, but if you really love your project, then why would you not want to promote it to the best ability you can? Like, why would you not want to put everything you can into that project? Why just throw it out there? Like, if you really care about it, you're not gonna you like a watch, you're not just gonna throw that shit to the ground. Like, fuck it, I'll pick it up later. Nah, like you're gonna put it back in this box. So that's why I was like, okay. After I saw the results and how dope I thought the project was, but I didn't get the results that I thought I was gonna get, I was like, okay, the next thing I have to do is promote myself and my music better. And after that, I kind of started to develop that like business mindset. Not like fuck the music, like business wise, like why would people want to listen to your music in the first place? What do you offer these people? So after that project, I was like, okay, I figured it out now. Yeah. But I'm still figuring it out, but I have an idea of like where I'm supposed to go.
You knew where you had to go now.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a fork in the road, and it was like, this is the route you got to take.
Because I love music. Why the fuck would I just throw that shit out there? That's dumb to me. Like, that's pointless. That means you don't really care about the songs you're making. Every song I make, I try to have a message that if somebody was to hear it, they'd be like, oh shit, you helped me, or whatever the case is. So I treat everything like a baby. Like
every song could be somebody's first time listening to you.
Exactly. So why would you want to just put some half-ass shit out there? Nobody does that. So why are you telling people to do that? It's weird, but yeah. Promotion was the biggest thing I learned off of that project.
What was different between that and Stuck in a Good Place?
I think Stuck in a Good Place was I was able to be more creative. Like I didn't want to just make a project that I could rap. Like I wanted to make a project and I wanted it to be fun, but I also wanted people to be able to relate to it. So like I never worked in a pizza shop my whole life, but I just thought it was something that I can throw on the project that would have like a lesson, like you're stuck here, like this place that you're stuck in is good, but you're stuck here, so you have to deal with all the bullshit that comes with being stuck here in the moment in time. Doesn't mean you're trapped, but you just can't move right now. And I made like some real positive jokey joke skits that I felt like helped bring that message a little bit more. So the music and the beat selections were better on Stuck in a Good Place than Before Year's End, because Before Year's End, like I said, it was just thrown together, and I was like, let me just put this out there. The cover was thrown, everything. Like, let me just put this out there, and I need to get some shit off my chest. But after I did Stuck in a Good Place, I was like, yo, I really think I have something that's super creative. Like, when people come back, they'll be like, oh, shit, like, there's no reason why he shouldn't be where he is, because he learned. He progressed, he got better. So those were kind of like the two differences out of the two.
Interesting. What about the third, Price of Fame?
Price of Fame is that shit.
That shit
Price
fire.
of Fame is that shit, yo.
That shit got some fucking bops, bro.
Price of Fame is that shit, yo. Um, Price of Fame is I feel like the most mature me that I've been, because when I did that project, I started writing it when I came off tour with KRS-One. So I came fresh off tour, and then like I was trying to figure out like, damn, like I was at the highs of places, and like you're around mad people who don't know who you are, but they're screaming for you and they're cheering. So it was like a high that I had. Then I came back,
A natural high.
a natural high,
Yeah.
and I came back, and I was like, damn, I'm back home. Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I
Yeah.
doing here? So I started to think like, yo, like what got you to you being there, and what was the price that you had to pay to be there? There's a lot of shit on tour that a lot of people don't understand how rough it is. Like, it's nice, but it's also a lot of hard
Hectic.
work. Yeah, it's hectic. It's you don't eat sometimes, you don't sleep sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you rushing around, you're in places you don't know. Sometimes people want to fight you, sometimes you're dealing with a lot. So like, what was the price? I had to like be like, okay, if this was my tour, what is the price that I would have to pay for doing that? The price of fame. Like, what are you willing to give up to get in return? And that was kind of like what I started thinking when I came back. So then I started writing, and a lot of those songs I had done in in like May and like June.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them were done. Like I had probably like 3/4 of the project done by June. But then I started to go back into it, and I was like, nope, I want to fix this. Nope, I want to fix that. I just started to be real hands-on and like very, very, very critical of myself. So like
Which
a
is
lot
hard for a lot of
yeah,
people.
it is. It is. A lot of songs that like Sinners, I mixed Sinners like 5 different times.
Yeah.
Like I did it 5 different times, and then I had like 3 other people do it, like their times. So I was like very highly critical of how I wanted things to sound, placements and stuff like that. So I think it just was the growth of everything that I learned into one project, and that was
Okay.
like that was my favorite project that I put out to date. And excuse me, I did everything that I possibly could to promote it the way I wanted to do it, and I'm still promoting it after. So business wise, I had a plan months before and 6 months after of what, like, okay, we're gonna do this after the project. So I did treat it like an album,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like, I just can't wait till I have hands on and I have the producers that I want to work with and everything like that. But Price of Fame was that shit. Like, that was my shit.
That shit fire, bro.
Yeah, thank you. A
course,
lot of
bro.
those songs, like the actual song Price of Fame, I made in 2016. It's
Damn.
old, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I had
The
to
message stuck.
right. 2 years it stayed the same. Nothing changed. The beat didn't change. The song didn't. The lyrics didn't change. The singer didn't change. The producer. It was all the same. But just 2 years later, the message was a little bit stronger to be carried out. So I don't know. I thought Price of Fame was pretty dope, and that was my shit. Yeah.
Fuck with that, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, out of all your music videos you've done, which one was your favorite?
I probably would say Room 414 was my favorite because that was the first time like I really saw like I had a whole bunch, like a team of people working on the video.
Yeah.
Like gaffers and different people setting and changing the lights, and we had like an actress, and it was a one shot, so it was real hard. It was the first video that I shot that we had to film. We had to shoot it like 15 different times because if we fucked up, we had to go back. So it was very like, it was fun. It was fun, and I think the message that I was trying to put out, a lot of people understood it and a lot of people didn't, but that was the point. So I think that was my favorite video just because all around it was fun, and then after we promoted it well, like it was dope. But I think that was my favorite video because up to that point, I had to learn, just like music, I had to learn like videos and shit. Like, how do I market myself through videos? Because all these thoughts are coming from me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. And then people are helping me because of what I'm spewing out. But
They see your vision.
yeah, they see the vision. So now it's a little bit easier for me to tell, yo, can you help me with this or can you help me with that? But before, I had a hard time telling people like, okay, I want to do this. I'll just do everything myself.
Yeah.
Like, you have a team. If you try to do this shit by yourself, a lot of the things that you're trying to do, one thing's gonna fuck that up, and you're not gonna be able to perform at your highest.
No one. Yeah,
ability.
exactly. No one's perfect. You can't do everything at
No,
once.
no. We would love to
Yeah.
because it's our shit, but like in reality, you need a whole bunch of people who support what you're trying to do because it becomes their vision and not just yours. And when you could do that for people and they're around to see that, then you're dope. You're always gonna have a good product, always. So that's my favorite video up to date. But when I drop Ruin the Party on April 10th, I think that's gonna be like my favorite, and I think people are gonna like it because it's more of the traditional music video where people are gonna be like, oh shit, this shit is different.
Bop to it.
Yeah, you can move to it. You're gonna like what the lighting, the scenery, everything we set it up. But I learned from that to be able how to conduct the video shoot on Ruin the Party. So it's like it's always a growing process. As long as you're growing,
gonna get better and better.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you're growing, that's all that matters. I'm not taking shortcuts. I would love to, but I just can't. I'm not afforded the luxury to have a shortcut. So in knowing that, I start to accumulate all the knowledge to be able to do these things. So when the time comes and I'm here, I kind of already have an idea how everything is being ran, and I'm not gonna be one of those artists who, I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm gonna know what's going on. I just don't have to do it. I'm not gonna be getting screwed over in business deals because I understand. I already got screwed over in business deals, and I understand what it takes. So, one of those artists that just keeps growing. So yeah, Room 414 is my shit though.
Yeah. Talk about your Prime Bars freestyle the other day. That shit was fire, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate it, yo. Appreciate it. That's honestly something I've been waiting to do for a very long time. I've been waiting to just like, yo, somebody get me on a platform so I can just rap. Like, I just really want to rap and do like a flex freestyle or something like that. So when I had the verse already, and I already knew what I was gonna do, and then somebody actually hit me up. I forgot who it was, but he hit me up and he said, yo, my man's is doing this. You want to be a part of it? And I said, hell yeah. Sign me up. So then he hit me up and then we did it. And then when I did it, I was just like, I just felt good. Like it was just like I knew everything that I manifested. Like, okay, that's like the steps that I'm going to have to take to get to the eventual platform that I know I'm going to be on. So that shit was dope. That was my shit, yo.
That was the first thing I showed TJ, and he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck with
Appreciate it, yo. Appreciate it. That was my shit. Because I grew up on that, too. Like, I grew up on all different facets of what hip-hop is. Like, I listened to a lot of battle rappers. I watch a lot of battles. So when that element comes, that's where I try to tap into. Like, Jadakiss is, like, one of my favorite artists. So, like, I start thinking about people who kill the mic. Like, they, like, literally attack it. And from the 90s, from the early 2000s, and I try to channel that energy. When I'm making songs, it comes from a different place. So, like, everything that I've been doing and watching is, like, okay, I'm taking a piece from this person, taking a piece.
Still like an artist.
Yeah, for sure. But it's my shit, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So unless I don't sound like anybody else, if I did, then that's when people would kind of be like, oh, I mean, you're kind of stealing this person's style. But it's like, you could say I sound like so-and-so, but I grab from everywhere. The Lox is one of my favorite groups. So, like, yeah, that's one of my favorite rap groups. So anytime those type of events come, I'm ready to, like, kill some shit. Like, I don't live the lifestyle, but I love rapping. So that's my shit. I want to do more. Cool. So anybody, sign me up. I'm here. Like,
Bars on 995, you got to do that sometime, bro.
I'm with the shits. I'll kill that shit. So I'm with it.
They nice, bro.
Yeah, I seen it. And I appreciate it, too, because I know a few people who are on there, and I appreciate what they're doing for Connecticut artists. Yeah. So just that in general, I think, I'm not from that area, so bringing, like, an 860 artist to, like, the 203 area, sometimes it's hard, but if you give any of us that opportunity, we'll kill that shit.
Bro, I saw, it was a picture of Snow, Big Bread, J-Rock, Chill Shump, and Trap Phone Fetty, and they were just like, fuck all this hate shit, it's 1063, it's 860 plus 203.
Yeah,
like,
it has to be.
Yeah.
Why not?
We all got the same goal right now.
Why not? That's one of, like, my biggest gripes is, like, yo, like, everybody's from Connecticut. Connecticut is trying to build a culture with music, with everything. So, yeah, we all want to be the best. We all want to be the greatest. But when we come together, it should be like we want to be the best out of everybody around us.
Out of all the other states.
Yeah, out of everybody.
Every city.
I said this when I was on tour. I was like, yo, like, you could take 10 Connecticut artists, don't matter their style, don't matter how they rap, it don't matter what it is, their genre, and you could put them in any show in any one of those states. I was in Cali, LA, San Diego, Texas, Florida. Fort Wayne, Nashville, and we'd kill that shit.
Yeah.
Kill it. Because we've never been seen before. So, like, people would be like, what the fuck is that over there? You're from where?
Yeah.
You're from Connecticut. What the hell's in Connecticut? This is what's in Connecticut. Like,
Exactly.
start looking this way. So I never really understood, everybody's an artist, so you're real protective of how you feel about your craft. But
Yeah.
when you come together, it should be nothing but love.
I agree.
Why are people hating on their own people? That's stupid. I never understood that.
We're in a small ass state. There's no reason to be divided.
At all. The crazy thing is other artists come here and we love them.
Mm-hmm.
They take all our money. But we can't take the people here don't want to pay for shit for us.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, support. You have that also comes from like a fan and like you like music, so why do you have to listen to so and so from Chicago when so and so right here makes music that sounds like it's from Chicago? Just grab it from him.
Yeah.
Grab it. Why would you this shit not? No. As a fan, you have to want to support the people, and you have to want to support all artists. Like, yo, they might not be big now, but just because they're not big now doesn't make them local.
Yeah.
It don't make to me, somebody who's local is somebody who's never gonna leave their area. Has no dreams of like I don't want to leave this area. I don't want my music to be heard by nobody else but my friends and my surrounding group in this area. But if you're trying to make it and like your way is through the internet and you're making music and you're trying to go viral, support that shit.
Yeah.
Unless it's negative and it's like people are going smacking people's heads off, like support it because you never know. That person could sell out a show here and just by a couple words of you saying, hey, yo, I fuck with your shit, they'll always remember that shit. And that's what will carry them. But like you have to have that ideology as a fan too. Like we always blame artists and creators, but it's also the people of Connecticut. Yo, stop paying $40 to go watch what's his name come to the XL Center when somebody's at Toast Place and they said, yo, it's $15. Pay to go see that person.
Yeah.
You're not putting money in their pocket anyways. They're not going to pay to do that. But at least you can be there to support, to grow that. And then when we leave Connecticut, people will see how Connecticut treated Connecticut, and they'll try to match that type of love.
Yeah.
But you don't. That starts with everybody. So fuck the hate. Everyone says it, but it's like really like fuck the hate. Why are you hating? Like let's just all try to get money. There's enough money in Connecticut, let alone the rest of the country, the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, fuck the hate, bro. That's my shit. I don't live by it. I never did. I never understood it.
There's no point to have it, bro.
No, not at all. Why would you? You're holding yourself back by harboring hate. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's dumb.
That's why that Breed Weekend was so important.
For sure. For sure.
It helped out with just like making people like finally see each other and be like, all right, we actually do have the same vision.
Yeah. Because sometimes you have to meet in person too. Like, sometimes everyone has to be around each other to kind of be like, okay, like maybe I felt something, but like we're cool because we're all here. It's all love. So I thought the event was dope. I thought that I was a little tight that some people didn't get their, like I wanted Ian Matthews' music to get played. I was tight about that. That was my only gripe because I seen what he did, like the whole billboard and shit. I was like, that's fucking dope. You gotta see that. Play that. Fuck my shit. Play that shit. Play that record.
Just slip it in.
Because it's not what it's different, but it's also a part of the culture. So you have to attack all facets of the culture. You're gonna be for the culture, then you gotta like this, you gotta like that, you gotta like shit that ain't your sound, but you see what it's doing in the streets, you see what it's doing for the internet, whatever it is, and you gotta support that. And I think that was my only gripe about it. Cause I'm little me. I don't give a fuck. Like I do what I gotta do. I'll be where I need to be. But I was like, damn, like they should have played this shit. But it was dope to see everybody in the same area showing love to each other. And not just artists, DJs, curators.
Everybody.
Everybody was there. Producers, everybody was there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Chris Webby was there. Like, that's dope. That's dope.
Showing love on all these other kids coming from the underground.
Off the strength. That's dope.
Yeah.
You have to do that type of shit. That's how you build a culture up, though. So I was happy to be there. I was happy to be a part of it. So it was dope.
I agree, man. What's next?
For me, so right now I'm working on 3 different projects. I'm not gonna say what, but it's pretty much like I'm gonna have a portion of one of the projects is going to be me just being able to do and say whatever I feel without feeling the restraints of trying to sell something.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a mixtape basically, and people fuck with it. You fuck with it, cool. You don't, that's fine. Cause I got some other shit coming anyways, where I'm going to be making songs. I'm going to be trying to make records that I feel I'm positive with and shit that I can push out to the world.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna hold me on until I end up putting out like an album. I don't know when the album's gonna come out, but that's just my 3 projects that I have in my head that I'm working on right now. So
That's dope.
can't reveal too much, but
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm working now because I normally try to put out like 1 project a year because I try to harbor all the feelings I have and shit, and I try to put it all into 1 project, and then I disappear, and then I'll come back and do it again.
And
Like,
yeah.
okay, this is what I went through. Listen to that, but I understand the climate. I understand what it is, and like sometimes you can get lost in the wave and the sea of all these artists. So I want to make sure I'm out there putting
You're
shit
prominent.
out. Yeah, for sure. So that, and I feel like it's important now for me than anything to like break out of old habits.
Yeah.
That was an old habit that I'm all right, I need to put 3 projects out, let me do it.
Yeah.
That's simple. You know what I'm
Gotta.
saying? Like, yeah, I gotta do it. I'm an artist. I could do it anyway, so why wait till the end of the year to do it when I just start banging people in the head off the rip? So that's
Make
the
them
next thing.
remember your name.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think, I don't think after I put these out, I think people are gonna be like, oh shit, like if they didn't know already, like where did he come from?
Yeah.
And not just here, just like everywhere. Like where did he come from? Because I don't like just to stay in Connecticut. When I went to Atlanta, I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and I performed out there, and they were like, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Connecticut. And the dude was like, oh shit. One of the DJs, he was like, I didn't know Connecticut had artists like that. I thought they just had battle rappers. And I said, see, I understand you don't know,
Yeah.
but like you're gonna know real soon, like what Connecticut's capable of doing. And I have a different sound, so if it's not my sound that works somewhere, somebody else's will.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about CT. There's always a different sound.
For sure. Because
Like-
there's nothing that's like solid from here. We just grab from everywhere. New York, Boston, Atlanta, Florida, take, LA, take. Because we're creating our culture. So that's kind of how hip hop was started anyways. They were taking disco records and they were taking all different type of genres, and then they created hip hop.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mixing
so,
pot.
Yeah, that's it. Connecticut, same thing. For sure.
Where do you see yourself in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years?
1 year from now, I'm gonna be on tour somewhere. I don't care how long it is, but I'm going to be on tour. I see myself with the successful projects and just moving around more. I don't expect to be stuck and idled in a place for no longer than 2-3 months. And that's kind of the habit that I'm breaking out, just taking trips, going to different areas each weekend, just preparing myself for it. 5 years from now, I want a Grammy. Like I want a Grammy. I want to be able to say like, yo, I did that. I want to work with some of my favorite producers, some of my favorite artists, and I just want to be financially secure. I don't care about being the richest. I just want to be financially secure, and I want to be able to have an influence on people. So like how Joey Badass can do a show and he'll sell that shit out, but mainstream rap don't know about Joey Badass to the extent that they probably should.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be somewhere in there, but I'm not going to box myself in.
Yeah.
I'll be able to go places and sell out a show, and you'll be like, oh shit, Trey Tuck's here. We're going to go see his show. But I also am going to have the influence of I don't even know. I'm not going to speak on it yet because I know my influence is going to be positive, and I don't want to say any names. But yeah, I just want to have a great influence over our culture.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what about 10?
10 years? Well, damn. I don't even know, bro. Oh no, that's
Off on a private
that's
island,
a far.
just chilling.
Yo, honestly, I probably wouldn't be on a private island. I'd probably be somewhere in like Maryland or some shit.
Okay.
Like I'll be somewhere so smooth and like I'm not with all that shit, bro. I like to travel, but like I don't like too hot weather. I don't fuck with it. I like going to it, but I also like to come back. I've always been a person who likes to be like I like to be close enough to go to something, but I don't want to be in that. Like I want to be able to leave and be in my peace and solace and I don't want to be worried and about none of that shit. So like even like big cities and shit, I can't even picture myself in like a New York City or like in LA. If it's in Cali, it's on the outskirts of LA or some shit like that. But um, you know, I just see myself being prominent. Like maybe I don't have to put out as much music. Maybe I'm just going around speaking.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just going around. Um, Also, I do want to be. I am working on being a producer.
Okay. Cool.
Post production though, so
Yeah.
not like me making the beats. I'm kind of like helping executive produce albums. So I hope I'll be able to do that for a couple people, and also be able to do that and score films and stuff like that. Like
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
really big into that type of stuff. I like listening to soundtracks, and I like being able to be like, oh, okay, like this would sound good here, and maybe let's bring this artist in to make this sound like.
The other side of
Yeah,
creativity.
yeah, the other side where like you don't have to necessarily always be making the music, but you're like a Quincy Jones in a sense of things. Because I watched that documentary and I was like, he's dope. Like he did a lot of shit that I didn't know. Like he scored a film in like a month for I think it was The Color Purple. Scored The Color Purple in a month, something like that. I don't want to misquote it or whatever, but it was that short of a time, and I was like, damn, like that's dope. Composing music, I can't do it, but I have a good ear to know, like, okay, like I make a certain sound of music, but I also know what sounds good. Like I listen to trap music and I'm like, okay, that sounds good and that sounds terrible. That's good trap music. That's terrible. Like I can kind of differentiate between the two, and I think that's one of my big misconceptions. How people see me is like they think I listen to like one type of music because I make the type of music, and it's completely far from the truth.
Yeah.
So that's something that I want to get into and being able to do like post production. So hopefully, or executive producing. So 10 years from now, hopefully that's something that is bigger in my life than the actual me actually making the albums. Me like I still want to do that too, but it'll be more of that. Like yo, this dude he helped put together this, that, and the third. So I want to be that, and I mean just well off, yo, just chilling.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Nothing stressful, nothing, no negativity around me, family, all that good stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome, bro. I like that. That's a good, clear-cut path.
Yeah, bro. I'm not like a regular. I mean, I'm not your like stereotypical rapper. Like I'm not. I like what I like. I'm cool with being in the back and being low key. I don't need 1,000 jewels and jewelry on and necklaces to let you know that I rap.
Yeah.
I like just to show up. You don't know who I am? That's cool. I'ma show up. I'ma shut this shit down, and then I'ma walk out, and I'ma leave.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh shit, you're dope. And I'll talk to you like as if I've known you my whole life. I have conversations with people that I don't know. And I don't, even after shows, I don't act like I'm the rapper. I'm like, yo, you think I'm dope? Like, that's crazy. Like, I never, you know what I'm saying? Very, very grateful and humble. So that's something that's going to be prominent in my life.
That's good.
In the success of my career. So, yeah.
Got to stick with that, man.
For sure.
So are there any more shout-outs before we end today's interview?
Yeah, I probably would just say Trust Productions, Workaholics, everybody that's associated with it. It's a lot. My brain, I'm still sick. I'm still trying to get over being sick, so my brain ain't always there. But just shouting out to like even to you guys, man, and just seeing what you guys are doing for the culture of Connecticut and building something that is going to be a staple. So when people from the outside come here, they're gonna want to speak to you guys. That's always good to know that's going to happen. Like just everything.
I want to
like,
be a diplomat. Bro.
Yeah, for sure, and you will.
Ambassador.
You will. You not even want to be. You are already doing it. People already know. And like I said, like I didn't know you, but I knew what you were doing through the grapevine of other people that we know.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's dope. Like let's keep doing that. And to see that you follow through with it is dope. So just shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
And all the Connecticut artists, fans, curators, producers, DJs, everybody who just loves to do what they do. Just keep being positive, and we'll make it very soon. I think by the end of this year, Connecticut's gonna be like a place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's gonna be known.
for sure. And that also I wanted to say rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah,
That was something that like I was torn by, because I'd listened to him. Wasn't the biggest music fan, but I did know his records.
Yeah.
I want to say I was a stan though, and I'm not gonna disrespect people who are, but I just remember hearing for the first time I heard him. I heard the record with I think it was Bitches Ain't Shit with YG, Nipsey Hussle, and Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it for the first time. I don't remember how long ago it was, and I was like, "Yo, whoever's verse this is fire," because it
Yeah.
sounded different. I like bitches that like. It was just like his whole tone. It was dope. But to see him from there, and to see like him be like a staple of the community, especially like in black community, saying like buy back your own shit, like invest in yourself, and to see the way he was gunned down, and like to see like that shit hurt. Like I'm sick because of that, because when I found out the news, I got sick. I started crying, and I was like, damn, yo, if that can happen to him, then I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared for myself, because he was doing great things. Like for someone to be able to bring together gang culture like he's doing now. Like all these gangs, Bloods, Crips, Latins, all of them are coming together right now in the midst of his death. And that's like beautiful, but he was doing that when he was alive. So I just wanted to say rest in peace, because I didn't really get to speak on it anywhere, and I'm glad I have the platform to do it. But he was a very great staple, and he will be missed. So,
Rest in peace,
yeah,
man.
rest in peace for sure.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. That was a very insightful talk. I love listening. This ends season 7, episode 1. Thank you. Have a good night.
Let's get it.